Afrim, thank you so much for doing this interview with me. And as we speak, man, I am having a blast watching your new series, and I'm jealous, not just because I am a cheese lover, but the fact that you go around the world and tasting not just the cuisine, but you get to enjoy what your scenery is like. Man, congratulations on this new series.
Thank you, Rudy. Thank you very much. Yeah, I got a dream gig. I'm not going to lie to you. It's something I've worked for. I think I'd like to think I've earned it, and working my whole life in the wonderful world of cheese. But it's a pretty sweet gig, and it's like you said. I get to literally eat the best food, cheese on the planet. Like I'm blessed. I'm very, very grateful.
So happy for you, my friend. Look, for folks who don't know what we're talking about, you're the host of a very it's a perfectly timed series. Like this is something we need right now, especially because we've
Yeah,
been on lockdown for so long.
yeah,
The fact
yeah.
that trying different flavors and traveling with you around the world. What is this series called, and what's it about, sir?
Yeah, I think you said it very well, actually, kind of what's happening in the world. This is a perfect timing for the show. So it's called Cheese, a Love Story. And that's really says it all. Rudy, for me, cheese is a love story. It's my life. It put food on my table when I was a kid, and it's still doing that. And I have a lot of respect for cheese. So I travel the world meeting people like myself who love cheese, top chefs who cook with cheese, the best cheesemakers in the world. And them and we speak the language of cheese, my friend. And that is, I'm fluent in that language. And the people I'm meeting around the world, they are too. And just talking about how something so beautiful as cheese is loved everywhere and in every cuisine. It's actually really, really cool. I mean, this is essentially, in a nutshell, a cheese focused travel show. It's a 6-part docu series with the Food Network Canada, 1-hour episodes. I had the best time of my life filming this series, for sure.
Now, there's a reason why you're the professor of cheese. Your family is homegrown in this. Talk a little bit about this and the fact that you have a distinction in your title too.
Yeah, so the Cheese Boutique in Toronto was started, oddly enough, very soon. June 24th will be our 51st year of being in business in the West End of Toronto, which I'm very proud of that. We're immigrants, Rudy, from Europe, and we grew up with nothing. Like, my family story is the quintessential Canadian story. My dad speaks 6 different languages fluently, and he came to this country in the mid 60s, and he says he's Canadian before he's anything else. He's a very, very proud Canadian. And Toronto opened up its arms to my family and I this is the land of opportunity. Like, as cheesy as it sounds, it is, Rudy. Like, it for so many families, it literally is. And we opened up something called the Cheese Boutique in the West End of Toronto because there was a little need for a cheese shop in the heart of Blue West Village. My parents didn't study cheese. Like, they studied Latin and politics, right? Like, the furthest thing from cheese. But they loved it. They loved eating cheese. They grew up in cultures where cheese was a big part of their diets. And they said, let's do it. And the reason why my love affair with cheese starts young, I always say, actually, it starts before I was alive, because we started the Cheese Boutique, my family, to provide for their family, their future family. And I have 3 other brothers, and that was kind of it. I mean, it started very young for me, and I love it. It's given me everything. It's given me everything, every opportunity in life. And now with this show, it's bringing people into that world a little bit, right? Like, bringing people into this, like, massive, vast cheese world, because it really is. And, like, just everybody loves cheese. Now they get to see where it comes from, and how it's made, and why it's aged for this long, and what it pairs well with. And it's cool. That's what the show is all about.
Not only that, you talk about even with the farm animals that are involved,
Yeah,
what they eat. Like there's so many
yeah,
different elements to this. Before I want to just sort of jump over because I think it was the first episode where we got a chance to see the inside of your establishment. And
Yes.
if I was there, I would be overwhelmed. When I go shopping and I'm looking for, I want to try something different, I get overwhelmed when I see all the different cheeses because I just have no idea. I don't know what's right for me. I don't know what's wrong. But the thing is, your show helps break that down. So I
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
jot down, okay, let me try that one. Okay, let me try that one.
That's totally the plan with the show, Rudy, is, to expose people to things they might not have had before or tried before, but like the food looks amazing, so they want to try it. There's a part of that. And then the other part is, oh, I've been to Switzerland. I've had that cheese. I forgot about it. And like cheese is nostalgic, right? Like you have those moments where wherever it is you are in the world, and then people come down to my shop. You are also not wrong with like, I got almost 600 cheeses on my counter.
Yeah.
It's a lot, Rudy. It's a lot. It can be intimidating. I think the important thing for me, the staff here at the Cheese Boutique, we've been doing this a long time. We take the pretension away. We try and take that overwhelmness, if that's a word. I don't know if that's a word.
It is now. It is today.
Is it? Thank you. We take that away and we really break it down. We ask you questions. Rudy, what do you like? What don't you like? The more that I know what you like and don't like, the more I can give you a wicked cheese experience. That's the way I look at food. That's the way I look at cheese. Is I don't like it when there's rules, like there's hard, fast rules and there's pretension around food. It's not my style. Food is fun. Food is personal. Rudy, if I say I love blue cheese, and I do, and you may not, great, that's no problem. But you like something else, I'm sure, right? Like I don't scoff at that. I don't balk at that. I'm not a cheese snob. I'm proud to say that I'm not a cheese snob. And I have respect for all cheeses. And I have respect for all palates. So the more you guide me on what you like, the more I can knock it out of the park for you and get you that like perfect thing that you've been wanting, even though you didn't know you wanted it.
You know, I'm salivating right now, right? Like, I'm just like, oh, where are some of the places that we get a chance to see you travel to?
Yeah, great question. So first episode of Switzerland, that aired a couple of weeks ago. This past week, France, like two big cheese like powerhouses, right? We go to Quebec, all over Quebec. I'm a very proud Canadian, as I kind of mentioned. So the Food Network and I really wanted to kind of jump into Canada because we're making unbelievable cheese. So we did Quebec, Ontario, and British Columbia. All three, they're phenomenal episodes. Honestly, like I think Canadians, are going to be like, holy, you know what? I never knew we did this before. I never knew we made cheese like this before. It's going to shock people in the best way. And then Greece as well. So kind of Mediterranean. So a little bit of everything, right? Like a few different cultures. And it's a really cool series also for the fact that you learn about anthropology. You learn about like the people and the culture. Like cheese gets me to these places, right? But then you learn about just the people who make it and like why they do it. Like it's about the people. It's people, places, and the things I go see, kind of thing.
It really is. You talked about it, your establishment, 600 different cheeses. Is there a cheese that you know of that, say, either A, you've never had a chance to try, or B, in this series, we're going to see you get a chance to try?
Well, both for sure. I mean, I've tried probably, I want to say in my lifetime, I've been doing this full time for about 25 years. Mm-hmm. So I want to say I've probably tried 100 cheeses a year. So let's say about 25, no, that's too many. 2,500 cheeses, give or take, in my lifetime. Mm-hmm. There's thousands more, Rudy, I haven't tried.
Really?
And if you go to certain parts of Switzerland, like this is the thing too, like, yes, we're getting the iconic cheeses here, Gruyere, Emmental, those like iconic Swiss cheeses. I tried stuff there I never heard of before. I tried stuff there that, this cheesemaker's making a wheel a day. Like, forget about importing it or exporting it. The guy's eating it with his family, and that was it. Like, this is the stuff that's going to be showcased in the episodes. We take cameras, Rudy, that they've never seen some of this stuff before, where footage like you've never seen before. Because cameras, I'm bringing my friends and the cameras with me. It's definitely, like, there's going to be so many. I mean, so and hopefully to do more, there's more opportunity. But like every episode, I probably tried 30 new cheeses I hadn't had before.
Wow. The other thing I love what you do too is that it's not just about the cheeses, but you also say what's good with this cheese. That's really important.
Totally. I think it's a big question that I get a lot is, what's I have this cheese, what should I pair it with? What wine should I pair it with? What fruit should I pair it with? Like, I love answering questions like that. People trust me with cheese, at least, nothing else, but people trust me with cheese. So when people say, hey, Afrim, I'm having this cheese, what should I have with it? Or I'm having this wine, what cheese should I have with it? I love doing stuff like that. Like, it gives me pleasure. I get my kicks, Rudy, when I can make someone smile when they've had a piece of cheese, a good piece of cheese.
So I'm curious about something though, because, and I correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was in the first episode where you were speaking with your staff and there was this massive round cheese. And I've always wondered, does the size make a difference in the taste of cheese?
Okay, that's a great question. I actually don't think I've ever been asked that. And I've been asked like millions of cheese questions. Good call. No, but how I'll answer that is with a different question. Aging cheese that's gonna kind of change a cheese from A to B, or like change the flavor profile. Typically, smaller rounds of cheese, right? Smaller bries or mozzarellas, things like that, are fresher, more youthful, younger cheeses. They're, days old to maybe, a couple of weeks old. When you get to see the bigger stuff, Parmigiano Reggiano is the one you're talking about, okay? One of the kings of cheese in Italy. It's 100 pounds. It's 100 pounds because it's dipped in a very, very thick, heavy wax and has to endure years of aging. So that's why it's a little bit bigger. That's why it is aged a bit longer. So in terms of the size, no, it's really apples and oranges. They're like two completely different products, but that won't change the flavor, but the aging process will, if that helps. So typically bigger cheeses are more aged, smaller are a little bit younger.
Okay, look, as we wrap this up, what do you hope that fans, either of cheese, of travel, of food, or just discovery, what do you hope that they get from this amazing series?
If I were to pick one thing, I want people to look at cheese like I look at cheese. And the way I look at it is kind of how I've been describing this whole time with you, Rudy, is I love it. Like, I genuinely love it. It's something that, again, it provided for me, but I think it's so beautiful. It's a beautiful, artful food. Everybody loves cheese, whether it's a cheese board or cheese on their burger, pasta, pizza, whatever. Every culture around the world eats some sort of cheese. I'm going to go discover that. And I want people to really understand the respect that is given to cheese by the people who make it, by the people who age it. That, for me, I think is, and so far so good. I mean, I'm getting a lot of feedback where, wow, I'm learning so much and things like that, which really, really makes me happy. This is my life's work, right? Like, this show, I put my heart into it. The Food Network made an amazing production. And I think people's respect for cheese is going to go through the roof, Rudy. That's my goal.
Absolutely. And I definitely, at some point when things are a lot better and safer out there, I'm coming down to your establishment, man.
Anytime.
I'm gonna take a chance because, man, I cannot wait. Just this, like, I can smell, I can taste it. I cannot wait. Like, I got goosebumps. Cannot wait, because I'm definitely a cheese fan, man, and I'm a fan of your show and
Thank
of
you.
yourself. Thank you so much for this interview.
Thank you. I had a blast.